What we do here is go back.
Hello there, hello there, hello there, my little kittens. How are we all? I'm very well, I thank you for asking. It's Sunday, the day of rest. Except not really, of course, because there's no rest for the wicked. Ho-ho! How are we all? I wasn't going to stream today. And then I remember someone saying, like, oh, you should watch the Hippy Dippy, it was actually really good. Or fun, or interesting in some way, whatever. So I thought, well, I might do that. And I thought I could do that on stream, couldn't I? So here we are, with the least well-prepared stream in the history of humanity. Although, to be fair, that doesn't differentiate it from any other night. That I'm not even putting that on the script. I'm not going 255 or Clem H. Fandango. I'm not going to put that on the screen and sanctify it with the eyeballs. I'm not going to do it. You can get fucked. Who is Hippy Dippy? Oh, well, for new-ish people, Hippy Dippy is a somewhat legendary and not necessarily in an entirely positive way debate panel show, which I've been on many times. And actually I was on the beginning of this, if that makes sense. I was on the pre-game show, so to speak, which I'll explain in a second. And it's honestly, it's internet blood sports. It's just like people shouting at each other. It's ridiculous, but it's always good fun. I love doing it. It's honestly, it's so fun to like just call people cunts. Fuck them. I mean, I do make good points as well, of course, because I am an empirical lyrical miracle, as you well know. But you also get to call right-wingers absolute shitbags, you know? There you go. So, I thought I'd take a look at that Apparently, one of a friend of the channel, President Sunday, not Professor Sunday. I don't know what the fuck that means. President Sunday stormed off or something. Yeah, that's a yeah. So we'll see what happened there. Could be spicy. Could be spicy. And if anyone gets that reference, we can be friends. Anyway, yes. If you enjoy my content, you can hit the follow button. You can subscribe. You can subscribe with Amazon Prime. You can give subs to the community. Okay. You can do bits messages. 200 bitty bits get you a text to speechy speech. You can do super chats messages via the Streamlabs link below. And there, $2 or more will get you a text to speech. You can help me out on Patreon and or PayPal. You can go to the Discord. You can check me out on YouTube, Twitter, Blue Sky, TikTok. I'll get a Threads at some point. I keep fucking saying that every day and then I forget. But to be fair, there was some absolutely hardcore football going on this weekend. So, like, did you think I was going to be paying attention to this shite? You're joking me. The best football league in the world returned this weekend. Where is it? Hang on. There was my my favourite highlight. Oh no, it's been fucking taken down for copyright. What a load of bollocks. Anyway, already my favourite highlight of the year, with one of the most incompetent pieces of play in the history of, well, humanity? Certainly. Yes. Absolutely. And hello there, if you're on the YouTubes, you can hit the thumbs up button and you can subscribe for free. These are things you can do. Anyway, before we get into the actual Hippy Dippy, I did have to bring this story to everyone's attention. Now, I did already post about this in the Discord, which you should all go and join, as previously mentioned. But this story is so weird, and I looked into it, and it looks legitimately like this might actually be true. This is going to appear like I made this story up, because it fits so perfectly into the Logan wheelhouse of laughing at right-wingers being weird cunts and cocks and jizz and stuff, right? It fits so perfectly into that, like, the Logan sweet spot, that it seems almost like I created this story with the sheer power of my will. But I didn't. This appears to be an actual thing that's actually happening in the real, actual fucking world. By mutants. Just absolute freak mutant knobheads. So, you know how conservatoids in America, fascioids in America, Trumpists, scumbags, have been really, really butt blasted, really, really ass pained about being called weird. And so they've just gone and been even more weird without even realising that that's what's happening. They may have topped out, though. They may literally have reached levels of weirdness previously thought unimaginable by mankind, okay? They are never, ever, ever beating the allegations. I swear to God, I've looked into it and it does look true. I could be wrong, okay? I haven't seen big papers publishing on this yet because it's like a new thing, but stick with it, people. It's incredible. As I introduce you to Trumpists, just hang on. Where's the fucking thing? There it is. Trumpists carrying around plastic pots of fake JD Vance jizz. You did not, I repeat, you did not mishear me. They are carrying around pots of fake jizz. Now, that's weird. I think we can all agree that is spectacularly, breathtakingly weird. But it gets worse. Not only are they carrying around samples of fake, and I hope it's fake. Jesus Christ, I hope it's fake. Fake jizz. right?
Stop it. Get to
They,
help.
Matt, you could not have timed that more perfectly, my man. Absolutely, they need to stop and seek help. 100 fucking percent. No, I hope it's fake. I don't know if they scraped it off the cushions or whatever. I don't know if he's giving these samples willingly. Who knows? Not only are they carrying around pots of fake jizz, they're doing so for arguably one of the most evil reasons I can think of. Because look, the story comes from there you go, from the fact that JD Vance is weird about like breeding because he's a weird fucking freak, man. He's been very weird about like women who don't have children. He's called them like childless cat ladies and all of this sort of stuff, right? Just an awful fucking human being. Like literally, his ability to jizz is the only skill he's ever possessed, apparently, or whatever. So he's been really fucking weird about all of that. And he then took it to a next step of having a go at people who were couldn't get pregnant. So it wasn't just he was making a point about people choosing not to have children, but that people who couldn't have children were in some way defective or bad or wrong, which is just disgusting. That's a medical issue they have. Like, do you also go to the fucking children's hospital and go up to the little cancer patient kids and laugh at them and go, ha ha ha, your cells are fucking dying, wah wah wah. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? It's a medical problem. Like, it's disgusting to have attack someone for their choice to not have children, but when a person doesn't even have a fucking choice and you're attacking them, that's despicable. And that is literally the point of what they're doing here. They are carrying around pots that say JD Vance full family kit to mock people who are infertile. So not only is it like weird on a level that I didn't think possible, but it's also monumentally fucking evil as well. They're just really bad human beings. And I think they're humans, I'm not sure. Also, ladies, he's single. Look at him. Absolute winner. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Cunt. Hippy Dippy! So, there's me. There's me. I did the pre-game warm-up. I had to go with Lauren Southern. It was delightful. But I'm not going to play you me and like give you a commentary on me. Okay? I'm not going to fucking do that. Because that's, even for me, that's too much. So we'll scroll. I just wanted to show you that I was there because I said I was. So, you know. We'll scrub forward. And we'll take a look at all of this shite.
A general free-for-all, but please do bear in mind that do not barrel over people. If you do, I will mute you, and I don't hold it against personally anyone, but, you know, I'm a law and order guy. I'm, you know, blue line when it comes to moderation, 100%, and I want you guys to make sure that we have a good debate environment where nobody gets boxed out, and, you know, keep it short and punchy is my only piece of advice today, because if you don't, you're going to ramble, and then you'll take everybody else's time. Okay, you guys ready? Fantastic. So we're going to start with Adam.
Well, on Dylan's channel.
Yeah, so my name is Adam Mockler. I work for a company called Midas Touch, one of the largest liberal organizations. Yeah, I do like on the ground stuff. I've been to a lot of MAGA rallies. I'm excited to chat with you guys. Thanks for hosting this, Dylan. And I hope we can have a cool chat about this when it's not too late. But yeah.
Absolutely. Now I'm going to throw it over to Hake.
Hey guys, I'm James Hake, host of the Hake Report.
And a closeted gay man who's been engaged in sexual assault for a large time. He was working with Jesse Phillips. Do you remember?
Live Monday through Friday, and I take your calls, so feel free to call in. I'm on Jesse Lee Peterson's network.
Oh, sorry, Jesse Lee Peterson,
Fantastic.
not
I'm going
Jesse
to now
Phillips.
throw it over to Jebtan.
Jebtan, small government conservative, pretty much just online for the sake of doing debate panels because I'm a degenerate.
True.
Fantastic, aren't we all? Lecture fan.
Thank you. I'm Lecture Fan. I've been doing conservative politics on.
Lecture fan. Honestly, he's up there with Rob Noor as the most stupid human being that I've ever seen. On these panels. It's him or Rob Noor. I can't decide. They are both atrocious.
On Twitch since November 2013. I'm a guest host on Montana's leading statewide AM talk radio show, Montana Talks. I'm a commercial
Yeah, but it's Montana. Who cares?
litigation attorney. I'm a partner at a full-service law firm, and I love debating politics and keeping everybody informed of the truth. And yeah, that's why we're here. Thank you. Thanks for having me, Dylan.
Happy to have you back, and happy for you to be unbanned on Twitch. We now throw it over to Lonerbox.
Hey, I'm Lonerbox. I'm a Scottish YouTuber. I make videos talking about politics. My country is actually quite chill and politically sane, so I like interfering with other countries instead.
True.
Fantastic. You're really good at that, actually. Now I'm going to throw it over to President Sunday.
Hi, I'm President Sunday. You can find me on YouTube under that name, and everything Lonerbox said about the UK is a lie.
Okay, and now we're going to throw it
Racism.
over to
Blatant
Crenshaw.
racism.
My name is Rashad Crenshaw. I'm a liberal commentator, and I'm just happy to be here and debate with you guys.
Fantastic. First time on a Hippy Dippy, and happy to have you here. We're going to throw it over to More Perfect Union.
What did Vosh say about Lecture Fan? I don't have time to watch other people's shit that much anymore, unfortunately. So I don't really know what his opinion is. I imagine it's probably not enormously complimentary, is what I would think, given that Lecture Fan is one of the dullest human beings ever. Spectacularly stupid human being. Yes. Rob has a decent command of logic, as confirmed, where Lecture Fan is just plain mental. Yeah, that's probably true.
Yeah, no, check it out.
Oh, this is, by the way, this is QAnon Santa, if you remember him from way back. Funny cunt. Stupid cunt.
Thank you so much for the invite. I appreciate being able to.
He's in a car.
Backup fill in.
He's a car.
Didn't show up. I appreciate it. Dylan, I've done a lot of these things with you guys, with you over the years. Conservative, constitutional conservative.
Idiot. You're an idiot, is what you are. What's this? Okay. Oh, that is muted.
I feel like everybody but Lecture Fan is going to be on the same side with the Marjorie Taylor Greene thing.
True.
That's how every topic's been.
Yeah, it's rough out there being a dumb fuck.
Oh my God!
I leave it up to you guys.
Alright, well,
That's
never
about
mind. Fan.
So true. He is a dumb fuck.
Conservative podcaster, the More Perfect Union on Twitch and a variety of other places. I'm currently a homeless vet. I'm a vet, a United States Veteran Submarine Service. I'm currently homeless because I'm going through a little bit of a situation. That's why I'm talking to you live from my pickup truck.
Oh, that's fucked up, man. I thought there was going to be like a funny story about like, oh, I was stuck in traffic, so I had to pull over and be in the show. But actually, he's just fucking homeless. Oh, fuck. Well, that's messed up. Like, I don't like the guy. I think he's a prick. But no one deserves that shit. Although I don't know what he's done to be in the situation. But like, no one chooses to be homeless, right?
And I'm looking forward very much to talking about this because while I understand that political parties can have their differences, I think the divide is abnormally wider than it has ever been.
By the way, when you see the cursor moving there, that's not me, that's Dylan. It's very annoying. Stop it.
I think it's a danger to the safety of the Republic of the United States, and I would love to see somebody on the left side of this argument talk about ways that we could bring her back closer to the center.
Okay.
Yes, it's definitely the left.
Into
yeah.
the topic, and we're gonna have a minute to 2 minutes. Try to keep it short and snappy, and be.
It's definitely the left that needs to bring it back to the center. True.
At a time that we are on a schedule, and there are a lot of you. And so we're gonna stouse.
Pick me first. Hey, pick me first, and then I will just pass because I essentially did my intro.
Sure. Okay. There you go. Oh, I thought you were gonna go.
Well, he said he's passing.
Oh, you're
Yeah,
passing.
he should be required to sing us a song.
Okay.
Yeah. Next.
Okay, fantastic. Then we'll just go to Crenshaw.
Oh shit. Yeah, the right's more divisive. The end.
Okay, fair enough. Now we're gonna go over to President Sunday.
Oh, well, I wrote a whole thing, and now it looks stupid because I put effort into this. Okay, I think that the question posed this panel contains a false premise that our political dividedness is a problem to be solved. I disagree. And while talking points like we need to heal the divisions in this country or we need to bring our country together are almost ubiquitous, they onboard an assumption that I think is not only wrong, but masks the real problem behind a more superficial one. And that assumption is that we are more divided than ever before. I don't think we are. In fact, not only do I think we have never been less divided, that this is so is itself the cause of the intensification of political hatred that I think motivates the...
I mean, okay, right. He's wrong. There have been times when political division was less, but he's also right in that political division has been way worse. I will point out to Americans, you did have a civil war. That did happen. So, like, divisions have been a lot worse. Let's, come on. Yeah, a very diverse panel of dudes, yes. Pretty much all just white dudes. I'm not sure, is Lonerbox white? I'm not sure. And then there's a black dude, but other than that, it's just, yeah. Although, to be fair, he did try and have Lauren Southern on, so it would have been a white woman. So, that's a thing.
question of dividedness in the first place. It is because we are so united on what the problems are, the stakes, the timelines, and the solutions available to us that everything so quickly boils down to a zero-sum game in which there is no air for compromise, even between those who can only watch and comment. Let them eat cakes is no longer a viable answer even for those with power. The whole world is at stake for all of us. Petty alliances based on class, culture, religion, etc. have increasingly little solidity to them compared to the existential question of who's going to be elected to hold the questions of whether basic freedoms, equality, and even the habitability of our planet will be preserved or destroyed in their hands, and this is so for both the right and the left. And this makes us crazy, especially for those of us, like on this panel, when we take a wage and build a reputation based upon whether people view us as allies in the bigger struggle or not. So that we have...
Oh yeah, so the actual question is, why is America so divided? So
very strong incentives to be obstinate and to not even let ourselves treat each other reasonably. I'm sure some of us remember Rob Knorr telling us how the fictitious General Alden's plan for pulling out the troops could have saved lives. This isn't because Rob is stupid, although he is also this. This is because Rob is invested. This is a funny example, but this kind of thing happens all the time in more subtle ways. In some, far from dividedness being a problem, what we are really entrapped by is our unity, the totalizing attitude it engenders, and whether conceived in terms of party, nation, class, race, etc., how it commits us all addictively to a death spiral in which no real communication or compromise can be risked. Thank you.
Okay, just on the 2-minute mark, basically. Now we're going to throw it over to Lonerbox.
I don't personally think divisions are inherently a bad thing. I'd imagine if you live in a democracy, or in this case, a constitutional federal republic, divisions are probably a good thing. It's good to disagree on things, and that helps people to hone their positions and find ultimately somewhere that actually yields the best results for most of society. So I think the problem is what you have now is more like polarization, where you have, with no help from the internet, groups able to have their very comforting worldviews that they can just kind of give them little prescriptions and how to, and like immediate and short answers to every single issue in the world, so that you can just, basically what you're going to think about any particular issue before you've even started looking into it, and then you just work backwards and find all the information from whatever camp you're in that helps reinforce that belief that you were always going to have anyway based on which camp you've chosen.
There's no need to call out lecture fan like that. It's out of order. It's unprofessional. Lol.
I would say both sides are to blame for this in a little bit when it comes to extremes, but the fact is the Democrats, for the most part, kept their crazies out. They have mostly rejected the insane wishes of the very, very far left in America, whereas the Republican Party is completely taken over by the likes of Donald Trump. Still, you have 70% of Republicans who think the last election was stolen. Divisiveness is that people complain about is generally their fault. Yeah.
Okay.
Insane wishes like don't kill kids.
We're gonna throw it over to Lecture Fan.
I think the obvious answer to why we're more divided now is because society has changed, and the question is, how has society changed over time? And I think the obvious answer to how society has changed, and you can see this in all the data, is less and less people are in traditional families, less and less people go to church on Sundays, less and
Fewer and fewer. Learn to speak English, you cunt.
less people are involved in community organizations. And a lot of societies change like that over time. As societies get more mature and as societies get more wealthy, people naturally turn away from God, turn away from Jesus Christ, and turn away from a true spiritual understanding of the world, and start to replace that with communism,
Yes.
Nazism, all these other ideologies. And what we've seen in the United States and around the world with the global left going hardcore atheist and then trying to replace their spiritual emptiness and trying to get spiritual fulfillment from things like global warming, trying to stop
Yes, I'd worship global warming.
man-made global warming. And then it leads to these extreme positions from the left, and you're seeing it from the Democrats in the United States. They take these hardcore, radical, extreme positions, especially like, putting men and women's sports or trans-
maybe kids shouldn't starve to death. Those radicals.
Gender issues, all these sorts of things that are causing a lot of us that are basically still traditional believers that to be like, whoa, this is absolutely insane, and that's what's causing the division.
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna throw it over now to Jebtan.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of agree with Loner and President Sunday on.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, hello, Lillian Burns. Fucking kill me. Dylan Burns. Hello there, everyone. How are ya? Everyone go and follow Dylan, who does good work, both on Ukraine, but also on this shit show as well. How are ya?
On that core point of political divisions aren't our problem. Political divisions are good. But we should have a divided political atmosphere to avoid, pushing this giant ship that is the United States too quickly in one direction before we can, make up for generational gaps in belief systems. And we don't want to push the Overton window too much based on one generation when the next generation
Vibing,
might
nice.
disagree. The issue is personal divides, and I think there is a fundamental profit motive in the media to divide on both sides. I think they have perfected systems.
Hang on, aren't you like a capitalist? Isn't that a good thing? Isn't that the point?
Through social media and traditional media even to get people to tune in by saying the other side is going to destroy the world. They're going to do it immediately, and if they get power for even a second,
I will. I am going to do that. I love nothing more than tearing down Western civilization.
the world is going to get destroyed. Luckily for us, we've had 2 terms in the past 8 years, one from each party. Neither of them destroyed the world. Both of them, under Trump, people's lives were generally good. Economy was generally good. Under Biden, the economy.
What the fuck are you talking? It was shite under Trump. Now, I accept the point you're generally making here. That, yeah, the world wasn't destroyed under Trump. But, the economy wasn't good. That in of itself isn't enough, is it? The fuck are you talking about?
He sucked mostly because of COVID, and though I do have qualms with how Biden dealt with it, it recovered pretty okay. One of the issues is the reason.
Also, Trump was the start of all of that. Trump did the opening gambit for the fucking COVID thing and killed hundreds of thousands of people. Ugh.
Why I resent the idea that it's just the GOP causing the personal division all the time is because we had 8 years of the GOP trying to work against this profit motive. We had McCain and Romney both attacking birthers in their own party, attacking people who wanted to do this sort of...
Yeah, and one of them's dead and the other one's politically impotent. The MAGA movement is the GOP.
Alarmism. And they lost their
As a
elections.
chat, we have always had positive dialogue with and assurance from Dylan Byrne in relation to Kev's future on Hippy Dippy, so we look forward to gaining clarity on the situation. Little sterling joke from today.
I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, but thank you, Kieran. I appreciate the bitty bits. Don't forget, everyone, you can give bitty bits and do subs and all that bollocks. Yeah. Look, I'm more than happy to go on Dylan's show whenever, but I don't need, I'm not going to push the issue. Actually, Dylan, I don't know if you're still around, but on a point of if you need Britbongers, and if you need women, and if you need trans people, because you do need to tick boxes on occasion, dickhead. Look at this panel, all white motherfuckers mostly, right? Look into someone called No Justice MTG. She's fucking awesome. She's a Britbonger, so don't like, you know. Hang on, what the fuck is this? No, fuck off. Didn't personalise that. Raheem Sterling is seeing clarity over his Chelsea future after being... right. Sterling as in the person. Raheem Sterling. I thought you meant Sterling as in, like, the pound sterling. And I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? Did I miss a Bank of England announcement or something? I don't know. Anyway. Look, the British is the most put upon ethnic minority. We were the original people of colour, so just saying.
Barack Obama and Joe Biden saying things like Mitt Romney wants to put black people back in chains, completely unfounded. They won their elections. And so we had a natural snapback of the GOP realizing there is a game being played that if we refuse to play, we are going to lose every election and we're going to lose it powerfully. And so Trump came in and went whole hog in the wrong direction, which was acquiescing to the poisonous game we're playing. And the Democrats have now clapped back and are doing the same thing. And so we just have this increasing personal divide, not political divide, caused by that profit motive.
Okay, now we're going to throw it over to Hake. Also, Jeb, your camera is frozen in a very unflattering angle. You probably get rid of that.
Yeah, I'll just switch off split cam. Thank
you. He does look a bit derp, to be fair.
Throw it over to Hake.
Get ready for stupid shit.
I think the reason that we are so divided...
The reason that we're so divided is because women are whores. That's what he's going to say, I guarantee it.
It is because we've become destructively divided. Is because we've become kind of a bunch of women.
There you go.
And shout out to the ladies, shout out to the women.
Thank you.
We love the women, but...
Except that you just said that like it was a bad thing. You literally just said the problems in society is because we're like women. But I like women. Really? Because it seems like you were saying that women are bad, mate. It seems like you were literally saying that. And we know that you're secretly, not very secretly, gay as fuck anyway. Which, by the way, not a problem. We love the queers. I am one of them. But yeah, we know what happened with Jesse Lee Peterson and yourself and various other people. You love cock, mate. Just fucking own that. Yes, Hake.
Both the conservatives and the liberals are, like a lot of you guys said, hating one another, unfoundedly thinking that they're better than each other. Trump should be a non-controversial figure. Like, everything he says...
Yeah, he should be non-controversial. He's just a lunatic racist and massively corrupt and a convicted felon. But he should be non-controversial. You understand this, yeah. I'm a very sensible man called Hake.
Is perfectly reasonable.
Perfectly.
But he rightly pointed out that there's a lot of anger in this country. And that's really has no place. Because anger is what starts violence. Anger is what starts believing crazy things. It's like when you break up with like a girlfriend or a wife, or she's mad at you. There's no reasoning with her. She won't believe you, even when you're being perfectly honest, and it's clear to everybody outside that you're being honest. There is this fake unity of so-called civil rights that both sides kind of acquiesced to. Hate crimes legislation, all these things were very divisive in the pretense of bringing people together. And I agree with Lecture Fan that we got spoiled. And when you get spoiled, you tend to forget God. And I think even the Christians have forgotten God. So it's a...
The Christians have forgotten God. Yeah, very fun man, very sensible, very non-controversial. So we can all agree on that. Hey, hello Pidge, how are you?
Mess.
I'm going to throw it over to Adam Mockler to wrap up the intros.
Yeah, so I think you can draw a direct line from Donald Trump's entry into American politics to the division we see today. And I think it was only amplified by social media. We could probably all agree on the social media piece. I don't know about that. But when it comes to Donald Trump, in 2012, his claim to fame in American politics was saying that Barack Obama wasn't born in America. He convinced a large portion of the country Obama wasn't born in America. A decade later, he's boosting Laura Loomer posts about Kamala Harris's birth certificate. But we can go to 2016. Donald Trump had the RNC chanting, "Lock her up." Michael Flynn comes on stage. Michael Flynn leads a "Lock her up" chant. And if conservatives in here are going to try to claim that Donald Trump never said "lock her up," I have the receipt, so I'd be careful with that one. Next, Donald Trump, everything he says is completely divisive. You compare his "lock her up" chants to Kamala Harris and Tim Walz. They had a rally a few weeks ago where the chant started yelling, "Lock him up, lock him up." Kamala Harris said verbatim, "We're going to let the courts handle that. Our job is to beat him in November." So what's the difference between a candidate who's leading the top of the ticket, who says all of the courts are rigged, all of the elections are rigged, the judge is rigged, the judge's daughter, Judge Merchan's daughter is rigged, versus the person who says we're going to let the courts handle that? And Tim Walz, we can look up the video, when the crowd started chanting "lock her up," Tim Walz calms the crowd down and says we don't do that. So yeah, the idea that the two parties also, Hake says that everything that Donald Trump says is reasonable. Do you think Obama was not born in America?
Okay, now with that intro section
He said
done,
no.
We're gonna
Don't think you're gonna like his answer.
We're gonna open it.
He literally said, he wasn't audible, but he said no. He literally mouthed no. What a cunt.
Up to general area.
I love how this is a panel on what is the cause of the divisions in America, and half the panel, I think 3/4 of the panel is just like fuck the other party. It's beautiful.
Yeah, that's my thing. So I want to go after that a little bit too on both sides. So the idea that Kamala Harris has been just like anti-lock 'em up as a narrative as a whole, it's sort of the issue I have with Democrats acting like Democrats have been so civil this whole time. They're just a little more covert in their lies. Sure, she clapped down "lock him up" in that speech, but in the same speech she said, "I know Trump's type," when she's talking about scammers, fraudsters, criminals, and things like that.
Just because he's a scammer and a fraudster and a rapist and domestic abuser. Just because he's all of those things and probably a pederast. Literally good close friends with Jeffrey Epstein. Joked about how Jeffrey Epstein liked them young, not as young as me. That sort of thing. Yeah, I know his type too, and I know where they belong, and it's certainly not the White House.
She clearly wants him to be locked up and made several statements aligning with the idea that he deserves to be locked up because he's a criminal. But then just when they say to lock him up, she's like, let's let the courts handle that. She clearly is making a stance that she thinks he should be locked up, but she's more covert about it, which is fair. That is good.
That's right. Do you disagree that Trump is a criminal?
Yeah.
No, but what
Yes.
I'm no, but I also
Wait, we gotta let him finish.
I was being asked. But then I also have an issue on the other side with Hake.
Because the Trump people there's no point in trying to really debate them as such. Because they're not listening. They don't want to have a conversation. They don't believe in truth, basically. They just don't believe in it. They've got their narrative. Trump is not guilty, even though he's been found guilty. He's not guilty. Brilliant. Law and order, everyone. Law and order party.
Everything Trump says is reasonable. Even when he said he became a Republican because he thinks Republicans are so fucking stupid that they would vote for him no matter what. You think everything Trump has said is reasonable? This is the problem. Is I don't think you're.
To be fair, that is one of the very few true things Trump has ever said. So, you know.
You're bought into those ideas politically. I think you're bought into those ideas because, as President Sunday said, there's an environment that has incentivized you to say either everything Trump has said is reasonable, or on the other side, everything Kamala has ever said is reasonable, and she's never made any similar mistakes to Trump, and she's a completely unrecognizable. It's apples to bowling balls when you're comparing them.
Hold on. But Jet 10, let's be honest here. Donald Trump's criminality is possibly nation-ending. Like when we talk about Kamala Harris speaking about how much of a criminal Trump is. Oh yes. If January 6th was successful, what the fuck do you think would have happened?
What do you mean? What is your term of successful? Because
if January 6th was successful, if those flexible electors were illegally overturned, if Trump overturned the election, what do you think the United States, anyone who is constitutionally loyal, what do you think the solution would have had to be to oust an illegal president? Would that not be damn near nation ending?
No, it would be suing. The Supreme Court would evaluate which slate of electors was legal. They would find that the original slate of electors was legal, and it wouldn't have ended the nation.
That's assuming.
Really? Is the Supreme Court is unbelievably?
Give us a moment. I just want to make sure we have one at a time because we have 4 people trying to talk.
Yeah.
Okay, so I saw there was a few people trying to jump on this. So I want Jebtan. You just said what you think would happen. And so, Crenshaw, I want to have you throw that question at MPU because it looks like he wanted to respond to that. Adam and Loner.
It's sort of funny because I joked about the Hippy Dippy returning in my intro bit before the show. I joked about how this show was going to be the end of the American Republic. So it's quite funny that they're talking about this other thing being the end of the Republic. Because we know that it's literally this show that is. Because I said so. And everything I say is fucking correct.
Alright, so you wanted to talk, so I'll throw it to you after, okay?
Alright, cool. Am I talking or MPU?
Yeah, MPU.
I think you're asking MPU something.
MPU, do you want to answer that question? I saw you wanted to respond to it.
Yeah, I mean, the point of fact is that
I was
there
eating, yes.
is a constitutional question as to whether or not under
what
the
am I
existing
eating?
law that Mike Pence had any responsibility whatsoever.
Yeah, that's what it was. It was just a minor technical issue. No, I was eating chicken. Because I'm a cat.
To declare that slates of electors that were brought by certain states where there were questions about the legality of the way the vote was conducted, particularly Wisconsin with their democracy department, the way they collected ballots, the way that Georgia allowed people to ballot harvest and stuff ballot boxes, and when Michigan certified their slate of electors without actually being able to balance the ballot books. That's 100%. 72% of the precincts in Michigan could not certify that they're.
This is bullshit, by the way. I looked into this when they did the Lansing thing with Rudy Giuliani and that fucking Melissa Caroni woman. Yeah, this is bollocks. This is just QAnon drivel.
Their ballots were actually ballots.
Hold
Okay?
on.
No, wait a second.
Because,
finish and then I'll let
this
you
is-
come back.
Okay, wait.
If any of that were true, why couldn't they prove that in court? Because the Trump campaign went to court in Wisconsin and Michigan, and they couldn't prove any of this because it was all made up. It was bollocks.
MPU, could you wrap it up in 20 seconds though? Because that's a lot to respond to. I just want to make sure that he can, there's not too much.
So the basic tenet was that if a vice president under the current law or the law that existed in 2020, it's been changed since, if the vice president thought that the elector certificates were not in proper form, he could have, under the law, made an argument to say, no, we're not gonna certify that, and they didn't choose to do that.
Hold on.
Doghouse here. Let's do it here. I want to throw this over to back to Crenshaw. I don't know why you got in here. Crenshaw, and after Crenshaw, we're gonna go to Adam.
Yeah, okay. So first and foremost, almost literally every single case that Trump and his team made about stolen elections, XYZ ballots, all of them were proven to be false, particularly with the video in Georgia. That video was spliced, and I can give you the link. I can give you the link. I don't mind. I can give you the link of the video in which Giuliani and them literally spliced the video. But if you actually watch the video, that box was not automatically, it wasn't already under the table. It was a box of ballots they had counted that day, and it put in the box under the table that had no box under it from the beginning of the day. Everything is on video. There is absolutely no secret ballot as it pertains to Georgia, period. I don't know why you guys are believing this.
Because they're freaks. But also, MPU has just carried on talking throughout all of that. Idiot.
Especially given the fact that Giuliani literally sat there and said, yeah, not gonna lie, I did make up that story about, those election workers stealing the election.
Look, he's still going, MPU.
But it was my First Amendment right to make up that story. And sure, I ruined 2 people's lives, but First Amendment.
Okay, MPU, you can respond quickly, and then we got to throw it to Adam because other people want to talk.
And then can I get in there, Dylan? Can I get in
I'm
there?
learning so much about the causes of division in America.
Okay, but we got to move. That's why I want to throw it to Adam because we got to.
President Sunday is such It reminds me of a young me, except he's not. I don't think he's younger than me, but I don't know. Anyway, just sardonic, and dry, and just taking the piss, but also handsome as fuck. So exactly like me.
Move on.
I'll say this one thing with respect to the cases. 62 cases were brought forward. 60 were dismissed for the concept of latches. Does anybody on this panel besides me and Lecture Fan understand what latches means? The cases
do you also acknowledge that even the ones do you also acknowledge
the cases were never heard on the merit?
Do you also acknowledge that although that was the reason they were just hang on.
Courts oftentimes take a position that they don't want to handle a thing because it's a political hot potato.
All the courts.
Or maybe it's fraud.
Wait.
More perfect.
Yep,
That's not what latches means.
Loner wants to respond during. Wait.
No.
Latches says that you cannot bring.
Wait. Okay. One second. Okay, we're gonna do this quickly. We're gonna go Adam, then Loner. Okay, because there's too many people to talk. Okay, Adam.
I was going to respond to something 4 topics ago. If Lonerbox wants to wrap up the election fraud thing, I can bring it back to division.
Okay, so Loner, you can talk to MPU.
Okay, yeah, MPU, you're not acknowledging that even the cases that were dismissed on latches were also, they reviewed the evidence as well. I don't know why you're leaving that part out. There were several cases, much more than 4 or whatever that you mentioned, that were also assessed on the merits, and not 2, like at least fucking 7. So I don't know where you're getting that from. Also, okay, you're lying, okay. Also, even Giuliani admitted that he was lying. He said that it was just his First Amendment right to do so. Even Fox News had to settle the Dominion case for the same reason.
Dominion!
Exactly what the latches throw out.
Dominion, we've got to mention Smartmatic. Can't just mention Dominion.
Were 4, which is that one party was unreasonably pushing cases and delaying cases in order to attack the other party and make it harder for the other party. That's the reason they got dismissed on latches, not just because it's a political hot potato, but because even Giuliani, Steve Bannon, they admitted behind closed doors that they were putting through cases they knew were going to fail in order to sow distrust in the election. That is what the latches doctrine is for. It is so that you don't allow a party to just recreationally attack and sue and push lawsuits just to delay a vote, just to delay a count.
Now what? Now I hate to crush this, but the problem is this entire topic we're talking about right now is the main event of tonight, and so if we just have this as also the main event, my God.
Yeah, I got something else.
I can bring it back.
I know So Adam Mockler has been waiting very patiently, and so I'm going to throw it to Adam. I know who else is waiting. I got a mental note, Lecture, and I think Hake is waiting too.
Yeah, so Jebtan, I'm bringing it back like 10 minutes here. I totally disagree that Kamala Harris shooting down the lock him up chance are basically equivalent to Donald Trump basically allowing the chance to happen, also saying it himself. Maybe we should lock her up. And the idea that the idea that Kamala Harris saying something to the effect of, I know Donald Trump's type, I've beat him before. I think that's more of her saying, I beat him in elections before. He's a cheater. We can see, like, if you disagree with any of this stuff, do you really think he's not a cheater? He's not a criminal. So I'm just to bring it back, I totally disagree that Kamala Harris shooting down the chance is the same as
He's such a cheater, he's cheated on all of his wives.
Donald Trump.
What were they saying earlier about how society has turned away from God? Yet they all vote for him. Intriguing.
Emboldening the chance. Can you see the difference there?
Can I jump in real quick? Okay. So the issue is, and the issue with...
Also, interesting little thing, considering Hake is a homosexual. You may notice there that he has the word bond written on his it's either on the wall or it's like been welded onto the top of his mic stand, and that's interesting because in the original James Bond novel, Casino Royale, it's claimed that James Bond believes that homosexuals can't whistle. Little fact for you there. Now, I can't point to the veracity of the scientific claim in question. I'm just saying that's a thing that James Bond believes. Is who out? What? What are you talking about? Is he out or is Kev just memeing? Well, no, he's not out. He's still claiming to be a heterosexual, but we know he was involved with Jesse Lee Peterson and his homosexual sexual assault ring. Like, if you're fucking blokes, you might be a bit gay, I reckon. Just a thought for you.
Lies in your recollection of the speech. You left out the parts where she describes that he is a criminal, deserving of being locked up. When she says, "I know his type," she's not saying, "I've beaten him."
Wait, did she say he's deserving of being locked up?
Yeah, well, yes. She's saying, as a
editorialized.
prosecutor, I know Donald Trump's type. She is literally saying, I prosecuted and
maybe she knows the type of guy that has 34 indictments. She knows the type of dude that has 34 indictments, and he's not fit to be president.
Just admit that she thinks he should be locked up because she thinks he's
sorry,
but it's not.
The man with the golden gun, not Casino Royale. I apologise. Either way, the gays can't whistle. Fact.
Divisive for her to say that.
Hey,
Given
can you
how
admit that
far...
Kamala Harris will never explicitly say lock him up in the same way Donald Trump would?
If it's not divisive, if it's not divisive, why did Adam feel the need to leave that out and claim that she doesn't want him locked up? Because it doesn't.
Hey, look, it doesn't really matter what he says because the reality of the situation is like we just established.
If you're both talking at the same time, I can't hear anything. I want Crenshaw to respond.
Rabble.
And then I want to throw it over to Hake because he's been waiting very patiently the whole time to say nothing. Oh, actually, Lecture Fan, sorry. Then Hake.
The reason why I'm saying it's not divisive is because if you look at the level of back, I don't want to make it a J6 debate again, but the point of the matter is the level of crime Trump committed is democracy ending. Capable of ending democracy. Calling him a criminal
America
and drawing a line in the sand and saying this motherfucker is a criminal, this guy is capable of ending democracy, this guy needs to be
ending democracy in America. Chill. The rest of the world would be okay. Relax.
Locked up when the line is drawn this far and you guys are grading him on such a crazy curve.
It's a Little Britain clip. What? What's that?
I saw a young Ross.
Oh yeah, that thing. Okay, I'm with you. I see what you've done, Elliot. Thank you. I shan't be playing it though because of DMCA, but I appreciate it nonetheless. If copyright law ever leaves, I'll play it.
Somebody has to say something and demand actual rule of law. That's not divisiveness. That's taking a stand where it needs to be made.
Okay, I'm glad we admitted Kamala also said she wanted Donald Trump locked up. I'm glad we've gotten there. You can disagree.
The Constitution oath breakers should be locked up.
So
wow.
Quickly, Adam, I know Adam was trying to respond as well since it was his question, so I want to give him 15 seconds before we through with the lecture, who I know is going to have some things to say.
Some dumb things.
If you had anything you wanted to say, because you were trying to interact with Jeb as well.
Sorry, can I just read this quote real quick?
Sure, if you want to read a quote.
I know Donald Trump's type, this is what Kamala Harris was saying. In these roles, I took on perpetrators of all kinds. Perpetrators who abused women, and tell me which one he didn't do. Perpetrators who abused women, fraudsters who ripped off consumers, cheaters who broke the rules for their own game. So hear me when I say I know Donald Trump's type. Like, where is she saying, can you be as good faith as possible? There's a difference between saying something like that versus lock her up and emboldening your crowd to chant lock her up. You don't see any difference between those two things.
No, so one is, I agree there's a difference.
It's a question for Jeb Tan, and then we got to go to lecture. I'm sorry, MPU.
I agree there's a difference, and I described the difference. I think in their divisiveness, Democrats are more covert. Donald Trump outright says, I want Hillary Clinton locked up, and that is bad, and you should not do that.
Oh, God.
Kamala covertly says, I want my opponent locked up. That is
so
bad.
Republicans are more openly divisive.
No,
That's your stance is Republicans are more openly divisive.
No.
Over to lecture.
What a minge. What an absolute mutant freak. Shut up.
That's our openly divisive.
The other side.
Stop.
They're the ones sowing division.
I'm going to mass mute. I'm mass muting.
Thank you, Dylan. All right, thank you, Dylan. Appreciate that. I gotta say, Loner Box and Adam are like living on completely different planets, pushing false information because they don't even know that what they believe is false. Loner Box saying that the Democrat Party hasn't gone radical and the Republican Party has is just demonstrably false. Pew Global Research has done research on this where they've proven that's false. Adam Laxalt, Adam.
I'd be genuinely interested to see what the fuck he's talking about there. I'm not going to bother looking into it because I suspect, in fact, I know he's wrong. But like, if someone did know what he was referring to. That would be quite funny, I think.
Mockler, what? Sorry, I got your name wrong, but you're clearly like just a TDS guy. I don't know if you've been diagnosed.
Hey man, earlier you said something about,
or if you actually like believe what you had, or if you just don't know the history of where the device began, because it actually began in 2008 when Barack Obama first started. Thank you. It actually went back to 2008 when Barack Obama. 2008 campaign. I know you may not have been around for that, but that's exactly what it was. And you guys talking about like somebody actually locking up their political opponent are like living on a completely different planet. Donald Trump actually had the opportunity to prosecute Hillary Clinton. That was a closed and shut case. Donald Trump made.
No, the Justice Department said you don't have anything. We can't really take this to court because it's not going anywhere.
Donald Trump made the decision not to prosecute Hillary Clinton in an incredible act of deference to our process and everything else. And then you guys are talking about, will or will not Kamala Harris try to lock up her political opponents and abuse she's already doing it. She's a part of this exact administration that's doing this against Donald.
The state of New York is doing it, not the fucking federal government. And even if it were the federal government, she's the vice president. The vice president does nothing. The vice president does absolutely fuck all. The vice president is given the governmental task of sitting in the corner with a colouring book and some crayons, and then only if the president gets his fucking head blown off do they call in that person and like, now you're the president now. That's it. That's the role, is to just sit there waiting for the president to get murderized. Which is not an entirely uncommon occurrence, unfortunately, but there we go.
Donald Trump right now has filed all these frivolous lawsuits, and you guys claiming that Trump is a criminal over January 6th, recognize he's never been convicted of any crime over January 6th, so you're all full of crap.
Well, hold on.
It wouldn't matter if they were, because he's been convicted 36 times of felonies, and you still say that doesn't count. So what difference does it make? Even if he were convicted, you'd still say the same thing, because again, you're not looking for truth. You're just an ideologue. You're just a fucking religious believer.
I'm sorry, Mr. Crenshaw. I threw it over. I promised Adam.
A religious believer in Trump, by the way. Considering he said they've turned away from God. Yep.
Not been convicted of any crime.
Adam.
Not
that
yet.
doesn't mean anything.
No, Lecter fan keeps trying to.
I'm sorry, MBU. Sorry. Adam.
Lecter fan keeps trying to paint Democrats as all these radicals. Lonerbox touched on it, but like 70% of Republicans in Congress think the election was stolen. Do you think Kamala Harris is a communist, Lecter fan? Like, do you think most sitting Democrats are communists? Because you named her. You used the word communist.
When you propose price controls.
Oh my God! It's not like that's always been a fucking thing in various ways across the United States since forever.
Yeah, that's a communist policy. Price controls are a communist policy.
Wait, do you think Biden is a capitalist or communist?
I don't think.
I think Biden. I think Biden's like Bill Clinton. Like he doesn't really have true beliefs deep down.
So when you have Lecter fans sitting here going, the other side, they're full of communists. Do you think like Democrats are groomers too? Are you going to call us communists and groomers and then say we're the ones being divisive?
I think the left has given itself over to sexual perversion. Absolutely.
Okay, so we're the divisive ones, and you're going to call it's.
Donald Trump is a rapist. I will leave that there.
See, it just doesn't make sense. This is
so, like,
anybody
y'all,
watching.
But if we were communists, you're cool with that. Just to be clear.
That was no big deal.
Okay. We're gonna have Lonerbox respond, then Hake, and then President Sunday. Okay.
I was going to ask Lecterfan if he thinks like most American states are communist because they have like a lot of American states have laws against price gouging. I also want to correct myself. Actually, I misinformation.
No, they don't. Dude, you don't know what you're talking about. No, they don't.
It was actually
yes, they do.
That's a lie.
There was actually 30 cases that were thrown out after the merits were assessed as well. As for the Hillary comparison, you have to understand the difference is that Hillary wasn't even indicted at the end. So she didn't plead the fifth once throughout all those fucking Benghazi hearings. Trump is a criminal.
He never.
Donald justice.
Donald Trump made the decision not to
prosecute justice in a way that says I'm going to destroy the data on devices and that I'm going to use physical means to physically destroy devices.
You thought it was divisive.
Donald Trump graciously didn't.
Obstructed justice. After she was told that you need to preserve all this stuff because there's a thing going on, she literally destroyed or caused to be destroyed physical and digital evidence of her malfeasance. She had no right as Secretary of State to have a non-secure server and pass thousands upon thousands.
I just want to point out that if they're still going about this server thing during the Trump administration, but virtually every single one of his people was found to have been using a private server as well. So, but her email.
Of emails across it that included top secret.
Hold on, fact check.
Okay.
Fact check.
Okay, but it's got to be like.
Hey, there is no.
Like, hold on.
I'm gonna fact check.
There is a dispute here. There is a dispute here.
Okay,
There absolutely is a dispute. A simple
Crenshaw,
Google search shows that the emails were defeated months before the subpoena. Deleted. Months before the subpoena.
Was allowing the Harris campaign.
Guys, guys, I'm sorry. I'm sorry to shut this down. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to shut this down. I gotta shut it. You gotta let. Okay, goodbye. So we gotta.
You're still gonna carry on.
People haven't been talking.
You're still going.
Sunday and Hake haven't said literally basically anything. So I'm going to throw it over to Hake.
All right. So to Adam's point about most Republicans think that the election is stolen in Congress, which I
MPU is still going. Even though we can hear the other person speaking now, he heard Dylan go to the other person, and this gammon-faced twat is still screaming. He's still screaming. Why is he in a cut? Because technically he's homeless at the moment. Which is not cool, but, you know. There you go. He's also still a twat regardless of his housing status.
completely disavows for the sake of all the channels and because I don't know. I don't know what the details are. And they say that there's no way of knowing. They made it so there's no way of knowing. But I think it was the most secure in history, like the government tells us to believe.
Of course,
but that just shows that the Republicans are being peaceful even while believing all that stuff. And is
That's
Biden a capitalist
ludicrous.
or communist? He's a commie capitalist. He's just
that makes sense.
He's been in the government.
Yeah, that makes sense. Total sense. Yeah, very sensible. Very fact-based.
Forever, and he's in bed with the capitalists.
Define that.
Define it. It's the government and the big businesses in bed with one another against the people.
That's capitalism.
In America?
Let me just finish. Oh yeah, about the Obama thing. I'm not sure. I think he was probably based on Bill O'Reilly's claims. They looked into it. He was born in Hawaii, and of course, for the sake of the channels, I think
Bill O'Reilly. But he has Hussein in his name, man. Sorry, go on.
But it's interesting that both Trump and our greatest sheriff, Joe Arpaio, looked into it and found questionable stuff.
Oh, the one who tortured people in his jails and killed that guy. Yeah.
There. I think Obama may have just been trolling us. I think it's just a joke. Nobody really cares about it, except for boomers who care about, right and wrong and stuff, and the fake people who believe in like the racism stuff. But Obama divided the country racially more than anybody. Lecture fan pointed that out.
He's literally just doing, like, I don't even know, fascist Mad Libs now. Like, you've literally even got the conservative here. This whatever his name is, Jebtan. He's face palming, like.
Out. He was bringing Black Lives Matter to the White House and
true.
Pre Obama, we were more racially united than after Obama, and that was predicted by people like Jesse Lee Peterson. And Trump is
who was at the time raping men. Just want to point that out.
Funny because Trump is the law and order candidate, and they're trying to act like he's this criminal.
Because he committed 34 felonies at least.
Wait, I'm Crenshaw. I'm sorry. I'm the law and order man. I'm sorry. President Sunday hasn't said anything basically the whole time, and I think that that entire sentence I think is just up Sunday's alley. So I wanted Sunday.
Nice.
I've been talking over everybody else. It's all good. But I am curious though if anybody else if we go around the panel and we could say what the actual initial prompt was and give an example of when we've actually addressed it in the past, however long we've been doing this for. Also, on that point,
the question was about divisiveness, and Trump is the one who is responsible for most of the.
I hate to fucking say it. Lonerbox's the only one who's actually providing an answer to the fucking question.
No, I mean I've answered the question in my opening statement. I don't think Trump was the source. He might be the source right now, but I don't think if we're talking about source.
I hate to say. So does President Sunday and Lonerbox not get on then? I'm guessing there by the. I hate to say it, but and then Lonerbox. So like. Presumably there's bad blood there. There's beef.
Sources, we just go to the most recent. I think the reason Trump existed in the first place was because you had very milquetoast, polite, very respectful conservative politicians playing the wrong game
Very
and losing
cons-
elections
very pleasant,
because
yes.
they were clapping down hysteria in their parties, while Obama was silent when his vice president was saying that his opponent wanted to put black people back in chains, that he probably had, I forget the random things that their media outlets were saying, starting it. Yeah, he was like doing like unsanctioned slave labor and refusing to pay, all these narratives about Mitt Romney that just ended up not being true at all. Obama was silent about them. And when you're silent about that growing and escalating mistruths and deceit that are really insidious, unless you think racism is not a big deal, those are really insidious claims, and you allowed an opening for a guy like Trump to gain hold in the party that...
Well, as fucking Hake just said, the fake people who believe in racism, clearly he doesn't think racism's a big deal.
Was trying to play civility politics because you beat and abused them by calling them racists, calling them xenophobes, homophobes, misogynists, and then calling their candidates, who were clearly none of those things.
Oh, the genocide thing. Oh, okay. Right, I'm with you.
The worst thing, like saying he wants slavery back. He wants to put black people back in chains on the debate stage.
I want to pose. Wait, I want to pose a question because I want to drill down on this for a moment and say.
Okay, but I'd like to extend beyond what Jeb Tan is saying after. That's fine.
Okay, I think in Crenshaw has something to say as well. I think there's a few people that have things to say. But first, I just wanted to drill down on this for a second and ask, Jeb Tan, do you think that if that attack wasn't done on Mitt Romney, how do you think that would have affected like America's political divisions? Do you think that there would have still been a space for Trump? Do you think Trumpism, how would that have affected the development of the MAGA movement or certain divisions that you have said that, for example, I know that you believe that Trump has contributed to?
Yeah. I'm gonna talk fast so that it stays succinct. If you look at the way that Trump won, he had an initial really big bump in enthusiasm, and then actually, as voters started to think a little bit more, Ted Cruz started massively gaining right near the end, but he was just too late. I don't think people were bought and sold on Trump the way they were on Obama, the way that a lot of people describe it when they're recreating history. Like Trump was the Republicans' Obama that just moved all of the neutral voting blocks over to the Republicans and saved us and all that shit. I think that if you didn't have a long lead up of people attacking conservatives for being racist, misogynist, homophobic, all conservatives, carte blanche, I do think there would have been a lot less room for Trump. I think he probably would have failed to a candidate like Ted Cruz, who ended up getting pretty close to neck and neck near the end. And I think we would have a lot less political division because I'm not gonna die on this absolutely insane hill that Trump is reasonable, that Trump does not purposefully stoke the flames of division. He absolutely does, and he absolutely has done serious damage to our political discourse. And I despise that the window was opened for a guy like him to become our candidate. And I don't think it's the Democrats' fault. I think it's the game's fault. I think the media has
don't hate the player, hate the game.
By saying these really inflammatory things about candidates, and so they're just going to latch on to whatever candidate is willing to say those things more, and they're going to publicize that person way more.
Okay,
I just want to respond to that really directly. So you're talking about,
and then after Loner, we're going to throw it quickly to MPU before bouncing it back around.
So that objection, but then obviously if I wanted to do what you were saying, I could go with the Democrats and say, well, they had a reason to get inflamed because of how many times they were called communists by the Republicans, or how many times during the Iraq War they were all accused of being traitors who hated the troops and all this shit. So, but then again, that would be a very retarded defense because at the end of the day, we're adults and we have to,
sake.
You don't just forego.
Oh, he's one of those fucking cunts now, is he? He's gone full Destiny. Fuck off.
The principles of democracy and everything else just because the other side's being mean to you. At the end of the day, Biden did say something very stupid about how some stupid law that Romney wanted to pass would put people back in chains to a largely black audience, but Trump made that character his entire political platform. That's something the Democrats have not done.
He made the winning formula his platform, and I can blame him for doing that on a moral principle level, but I can't blame when I'm looking at the a meta-analysis of how politics has moved, I can't blame politics for moving toward the direction of the winning formula. And I agree. Democrats were called communists, then conservatives were called evil racists. Before, if you want to argue where it all started, you could argue just Woodrow Wilson, and there's nothing any of us can do about it. But we're having a conversation about the source of the division, and I think the source of the division is exactly what even you and President Sunday got at the beginning, which was there is an incentive for tribalism, to borrow the Roganism of it, that encourages people to be 100% black and white against other group for their group. And I've fallen victim to it many times as a conservative who refuses to vote for Trump, but also refuses to vote for Kamala because I'm a small government conservative. Like, I think we should have really strong political divides, and I think that we should have a really strong encouragement to bridge political divides personally.
We're going to throw it over to MPU quickly.
Yeah, so the idea about when this started really gets mostly to the point. I mean, yeah, Jeff Tan, you're correct. It really begins with Woodrow Wilson. It begins with the 17th Amendment, okay, and the loss of the states to be able to control or restrain the actions of the House based on states' rights versus the individual rights of the way people elect.
Oh, fucking hell, you're a boring cunt.
Like the House, okay? But in a modern sense, it really starts with like the election of 2000 and how Al Gore concedes the election and then unconcedes the election, and then we end up with this process that rolls all the way forward to the Supreme Court.
Oh, you remember that time that the Republicans stole the general election? Yeah. Crazy, right?
And the Supreme Court said they take a stand and they say, no, you can't continue to keep counting ballots. And then everybody bitches and moans and says the election is stolen. I don't know how many Democrats stood up and said everything was stolen. Everything was stolen. You know, people bitch about Donald Trump saying that 2020 was stolen.
Yeah, but the thing is, 2000 was stolen demonstrably, and 2020 was not. That was just cope.
But my God, 20 years earlier, the Democrats were the ones to lead that charge. Oh, and guess what? An independent study by the left-wing media after the election of 2000.
What left-wing media?
Actually found out that George W. Bush won by more votes than when the count was actually stopped.
That's a lie, but okay.
We admit the Democrats did a much better job coming back and confirming that election than Republicans have lately, though. Like, we have to be able to concede.
George W. Bush won a massive amount in 2004.
Yeah, with incumbency and an illegal war and all of that.
Okay, it wasn't until after the Democrats took over the Senate in the Senate in 2006 that they began to push this narrative like it's time to get rid of the Democrats or the Republicans, and they literally undermined him to the point that it was possible for the Democrats to have a chance in 2008. And honestly, let's be very candid. If it weren't for a third-party candidate in 2008, okay, and if it weren't for the fact that John McCain literally fell on his sword like a fucking rhino that he was, okay, that Barack Obama would not have won.
Okay.
Fell on his sword.
We gotta throw it around. There's other people that gotta talk. There's gotta be no. I'm sorry, MP. We gotta throw it around. There's other people waiting.
You gotta understand
they gotta understand there's other people on the show. President Sunday. I know you've been waiting, and we got Adam Mockler as well.
We still have not seen a single answer to the actual question that the panel prompt posed, which is what caused the divisions and our divisions. I assumed it was in America.
Okay, but don't be a bitch about it, President Sunday. Like, the conversation goes where it goes. The conversation goes where it goes. You know the fucking the score with this. Like, yeah, it might be, the title might be what about divisions, but then you start talking about a different thing, and the conversation goes where it goes. That's it. If you're not prepared to talk about literally anything else, don't go on, I guess. I don't know.
Probably, but let's just isolate to America. We've got a whole bunch of people attacking the other party as being the cause of it.
I feel like
that's the division already.
I've pointed out a very clear answer. I feel like several times.
Okay, well,
I think it's the media's incentive to cover candidates that are more inflammatory than the other candidates. I think that's what caused the incentive. You can argue that incentive was caused.
But that's just restating what I said. That's not actually pointing at the actual cause.
That's human nature.
I think the cause is I think that is a cause.
I also pointed out.
I don't know what he's talking about with a third party candidate. Like, there's always Libertarian Party and there's always the Green Party, but I don't know that there was a specific other third candidate. Was there in 2008? Not that I can remember.
I also
think the
pointed out
media's
cause.
lack of journalistic.
No. The media can only do that, presuming there's already a division in the first place. Obviously, it doesn't have a side to pick.
I disagree. I disagree 100%.
You say presumably that there's. No
I think
side
the
to
media
pick.
can absolutely
That's all they
manufacture
do.
narratives and inflame them.
The
I think
media-
they've done that.
the media is
routinely.
Of course it does, but it has no bearing on the question.
The media is
That
trying to
does,
be
because
left-wing. Their thumb is on the scale every election.
if we're agreeing, President Sunday, that the issue isn't political division's good. The issue is more personal divides that are entrenched in our
No.
sort of.
When you have only binary political division, we're not talking about a lack of.
Okay.
We're not talking about political division.
Yeah, again, fucking your man there, QAnon Santa, making up his own fucking reality. 2008 election. If you look at the percentages there, 52.9 to 45.7%. So what's that? 98.6% of the election of the popular vote went to either of the two candidates. He won by 365 to 173 in the Electoral College. There's no third party vote that affected anything in 2008. Like literally nothing. It wouldn't have made any fucking difference at all. So like he's just, again, this is the thing with him. QAnon Santa just makes up his own reality. You know? It was 2008 when Johnson got 3%. No, that was 20. It was 16 or 20. Oh, hang on. Let's have a look. What is that now? 46, 48. That could be the one, couldn't it? 2016. Beep, 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 boo. Third party. Yeah. So 2016, Gary Johnson got 3.28%, and Jill Stein got a 1.07%. Fair play. Yeah. But even then, that's one of the more advanced ones, and it's still like 4% combined. Like, yeah.
In the positive sense, we're talking about an absence of other political divisions to give people more fine-tuned interests that would cause.
I don't think we only
and a
have
more.
binary political.
So you're a
divisions.
parliamentarian?
No, I think the GOP has divisions within itself. I think the Democrat Party has divisions within itself. I don't think we have binary political divisions. I think we have binary personal divisions, because the media creates artificial narratives of all the political divides within the Democrat Party have to unite against the democracy-ending Republicans, and the Republican divisions all have to pair together against the socialist, communist, Democrat evil people. It's like, I think the media takes
Yeah, but that's not untrue.
This guy's entire shtick is just both sides. Yeah, we get it, Jebtan. You're more clever than everyone. Like, you don't have to keep repeating the same fucking thing over and over again. It's very boring. His brain is so big.
Here's the problem, though. You're taking me to be saying that that's artificial. That's not untrue, though.
I think it is untrue.
But it's true. But it's not untrue.
Let's have President Sunday finish, and then we're going to throw it over to Adam, because Adam has been waiting patiently.
Well, as Lonerbox said, one party tried to coup the government, but at a more subtle level, one party has been obsessively going after intellectual freedom, the ability of entire demographics to get access to the voting booth in the first place, et cetera, et cetera. Just because that dynamic takes off from that doesn't mean that the premise is false.
What demographic are you suggesting?
Democrat Party's terrible.
What the fuck do you? Lecture fan's such a twat.
What demographic are they purposefully attacking voting rights of?
Purposely attacking the when you're talking, for example, about I'm talking much more broadly because I'm from Canada. When you're talking, for example, about the general attack on entire lines of discourse, or for example, when you have an obsession with
misinformation argument.
No, hold on. Let him clarify. I'm trying to get a clarification. Don't interrupt this clarification.
I was asking like the misinformation argument, but sure, go ahead.
I don't know what that means. The misinformation argument. No, I'm talking about the attempt to have entire sectors of academia either defunded or removed from universities entirely. And I'm talking about the attempt to use. I'm talking about the attempt Beg your pardon?
Oh yeah.
More
Defund
explanation on
wokeism.
that, please.
Well, yeah, but he's explaining it and then you're
Amazing.
interrupting his
Let's
further explanation.
let President Sunday have 30 seconds because we have other people who are waiting.
No,
Beautiful
it doesn't matter. The point is that if you're coming down to a point where you're just referring everything to the other party, you're not actually getting behind the cause of the divisions in the first place. Now, whether or not that's actually true or not is trivial. That could be the case or that could not be the case. However, the problem is that the way in which all of this conversation is oriented is that we are talking about
The fuck is that?
questions that are so dire that you literally cannot physically, and Loner Box is a constant victim of this, even when it's correctly, you cannot physically make any kind of overture to the other side or to a more moderate position without ceding ground to the other side with dire consequences.
Yeah, I kind of agree, but I think that comes to the separation of perception and reality that the media has created. Because as you said, you think that there's one party that is just unanimously pulling money away from levels of intellectual pursuit that's going to damage the country. But then one of our strongest Republican governors has elevated his state to #1 in education through more investment into education, higher teacher salaries, higher professor salaries, better tenure programs, more involvement.
All right, but that's not typical of how Republicans approach funding education. That's dishonest. Come on now.
Of parents and school boards. Like, he has improved education, and he is from the party you're saying is attacking intellectual pursuits in education.
Is that a reflection of the party as a whole, or is that just one person?
I think one of the strongest governors and most influential governors from a party does represent a good chunk of that party as well, especially when he represented one of the bigger
when the whole party is calling for the ending of the Department of Education. Doesn't that kind of just like disregard?
The whole party
exactly
is not. Hold on, the whole party is not calling for the. This is
they swear fealty. They swear.
Yeah, exactly. They swear allegiance to Donald Trump, who has said he's going to do that. Which, by the way, he didn't want to do in his first term. It's almost like Project 2025 is running the fucking show behind the scenes. Oops.
Fealty to a man who is backed by a movement that's claiming they want to destroy the Department of Education.
And this is the issue.
Good.
So
it is not the issue. It is the reality. It is the reality.
Rashad, stop interrupting me because you know what I'm going to say. They swear fealty, quote unquote, to a man who has only ever denounced the plan you're referring to, who has only created an agenda.
Well, no, he's come out and said that he agrees with many of the fucking policies of them, and JD Vance, his vice presidential pick, is like firmly on board with all of it.
That directly conflicts with Project 2025. And the only people that the Democrats are ever able to bring up that say that Project 2025 is Trump's plan are the people who wrote Project 2025 and are begging for it to be Trump's plan. It's like me saying the Steelers are going to start Justin Fields. I am a reputable source because I want them to start Justin
Donald
Fields.
Trump and the truth are just tight like this, and we're just going to ignore all the people directly involved in Project 2025 who say, yeah, we're talking to the guy. Many of us are going to be in his administration, but
so you think Project 2025 is currently Project 2025 is Project 2025, the Heritage Foundation. You think they're very honest and Trump is a liar? Because you're saying
no, Dylan isn't hosting it so he can have a laugh at people. It's because it's banger content, right? It's excellent content. It does numbers. Fair play, you know.
Do you deny the obvious? Do you deny the fact that there is a connection between Trump's administration and them? He knows who they are. He associates with them. He talks about how their movement and their plans directly align with his. And then when they release Project 2025,
except when he talks about
so when Trump says
Trump never ever lies. You shouldn't look at any of the other things around it. Just take him at his word.
When Trump says anything, regardless of any sort of conflicting information to the contrary, we're going to ignore that and instead believe whatever gives him the best image.
The issue, Rashad.
Okay, wait.
You are only accepting information.
That's effectively what you're doing.
Like, I imagine he's a bit of a shitlib, but the Rashad, I actually don't know. I've never heard of them before. They're probably quite big. I just don't know. But they seem like a really cool person. I might have to check them out and reach out to them. They seem cool.
Sorry to shut this down, but I'm sorry to shut this down, but other people have been waiting very patiently.
Let's let the direct attack.
Okay,
you guys have over to Adam.
The entire reason the Project 2025 thing started is because I think Rashad said they want to eliminate the Department of Education. Did you say that? And then Jeb Tan said
that's not why it started. They started attacking Project 2025 because it wanted to push like unprecedented power to the executive. That's why they started attacking.
No. I mean like 2 minutes ago, were we talking about the Department of Education?
Yeah.
Yes.
Donald Trump has said he wants to abolish the DOE. That is not coming from Project 2025.
Yeah, because you know what? Our schools were better before we had a federal.
Look it up
DOE.
real quick, Jeff Tam. But also, can
So
I
we
go
just
back?
we just
I
destroy an
the quote
entire
you're talking
department to
No, it's not
solve
just the
what
quote. He says
problem
it all the
exactly?
time. I just want to clarify that Donald Trump wants to abolish DOE.
As did
Wait,
Reagan.
wait a second. I can't hear Adam, so please.
Let me take it back like 5 minutes. Jeb Tan, didn't you say something to the effect of the Republicans got more divisive because they were copying the winning model from Democrats?
No,
Something
not
like
from Democrats. I think the politics got more divisive because politics trended toward the winning formula. I think Trump's specific formula
Who used to be MAGA?
did get ripped from the Democrats, and he exacerbated it. But I purposefully, this entire time, have been trying to not say it's the Democrats' fault for divisiveness, it's the Republicans' fault for divisiveness, because I don't think it is. I think it is the natural incentive for inflammatory rhetoric because of 24/7 widespread media that has come as a result of.
But hold on,
You
hold
keep
on.
bringing up
Don't you
wait,
agree
wait,
that
wait,
Donald
wait,
Trump?
We
Chat,
gotta
do you think that
pause
that
this
would
for
be
a
kind of a
moment.
cool
We
idea?
gotta pause
No,
this
it's
for a
fine, real
moment
quick.
because who just said that? I'm sorry, I couldn't hear. I lost my
I
hearing
wanna-
you a little bit. Okay, Adam, give me a second.
Hello,
I
Justin
I gotta
Freakin.
chill, because in about 25 minutes, we're gonna start winding this.
Hello, Justin Freakin. Everyone go and follow Justin Freakin immediately. But also, I'm not listening to the shill. No, I'm not calling Dylan a shill. I'm not listening to the shill output thing there. And what I'm going to do is shill in place. Hello, yeah, you should hit the follow button and subscribe, and do bits messages. These are all things you should do, because I am awesome, and I need to eat. So that's a thing.
American politics works because it convinced lawmakers from both parties to use the winning tactic, which is basically what you were saying, but it seems like Newt Gingrich is the one that kind of...
Where am I? I need to... Well, okay. It's a strange situation, but basically when the weather gets warm, as it occasionally does on this otherwise rainy, cold, desolate island, I need to have the window open, and in order to have the window open, I can't have the light on, otherwise moths get in and, like, eat me. So, I basically need to have the fan on and the window open so I can't have the light on, so there's no point having the fucking camera on because you wouldn't be able to see me anyway. So yeah, for the next couple of weeks probably I'll just not be on camera. I'm a disembodied voice.
Mainstream this
No,
tactic.
he didn't mainstream it. No, Woodrow Wilson. If you want to argue the strongman president, the opposing party is literally evil. If you want to pinpoint an original person, it's Woodrow Wilson. But who the fuck cares when the Republicans did it right after him and the
Are we
Democrats
going to go back
did
to
it right
1910,
after them?
1913?
And-
Come on. Let's talk
and
about the
this
90s.
is-
We're pretending. We're pretending like.
What?
Wait,
We're
wait,
pretending
wait,
like
wait, wait,
any-
wait.
we're
Stop.
pretending-
Stop for a second, guys. Wait, no. MPU. Hey, that was a barbed question in response, and I want to hear the answer to that. Adam just said, Woodrow Wilson? Really? That's like 100 years ago? Is Trump divisive because Woodrow Wilson, was...
Yes.
What did Woodrow Wilson...
That's really your best example?
No, okay, hold on.
To be fair, Woodrow Wilson was also very, 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 very racist. So, you know, that's a thing. Just saying. My main mod is British, and you've been telling me it's horrible. Oh, you know, Britain's fucked. Britain's a bit fucked, yeah. Very unpleasant.
So wait,
Okay,
wait, stop.
ridiculous.
And crunch up. I just said that he's gonna respond, so he's gonna respond. It was a barbed question, so he gets a chance to respond. Jeb?
Yes, thank you. Yes, history happens over a long period of time. I could also say Kamala's current stance on banning...
Hey, Danabo! Everyone say hello to Danabo, who is the person that behind the scenes is the power behind the throne. Who organises all of this stuff behind the scenes. And it was the person who contacted me to go on and call Lauren Southern a lying cunt or whatever it was. I can't even remember. It was something like that. Anyway. Yeah, thanks for getting in contact, Danabo. And don't forget, I am always available if you want me on the main show at some point. Little fact. What the fuck am I talking about? Hey, Zanzi, how are you, man? Good to see you in. Hadouken lolcats. You should hit the follow button. Considering you seem to know who I am, because you called me Kev, which is informal, but I appreciate it.
AR-15 comes from U.S. versus Miller and U.S. versus Heller, one of which happened before 1913.
Get the fuck, they came up with me, all the mutants!
That's such a great intro. Hello, Hannah and the Hannarites. How are you all? Everyone go and follow Hannah Reloaded immediately. Immediately. And hello there, everyone. I'm Kevin Logan. I'm a socialist from the UK, and you can follow me here for free. Stick around, check me out.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. Victory is ours.
If you're a fan of Hannah Reloaded, you might like my shit. I do some of the same sorts of content, kind of, a bit. You'll find I'm much less visually stimulating in general, both as a person and as a content creator. But, you know, stanners. That makes sense. The people that would follow her would be called stanners. Yeah, that makes sense. Anyway, yeah, you can hit the follow button. At the minute, we're watching the Hippy Dippy Roundtable returned for some reason after a several-year absence.
Stop it. Get some help.
Thank you, Oogie Boo, for subscribing. Much love. And thank you to Latimer Googly Eye for also following. Much love. They're talking about America being divided, which you may or may not have noticed.
To get so extreme as they have now, they had to have been ramped up over a long period of time. I think technology has made that exponentially faster, and that's why I don't think it's any party's fault. I think it's the 24/7 news cycle's fault. We've never had a 24/7 news cycle before the 2000s.
Okay, can I just correct?
We're just pretending.
Okay, but like you had a civil war 100+ years before you had a 24-hour news cycle. Like things have been way worse in the past. I'm not suggesting they're good now, but you don't need to catastrophize.
Can I just try to steal on what you're saying, and then we'll move on from that? Because it sounds like you're saying then that because of this 24/7 media we have, is it basically it's like a bipartisan issue where the media is incentivized to
we need Venn diagrams,
in terms of sensationalizing and polarizing, and that's why you get that problem. And Trump just rode that wave. Is that more or less your argument?
I appreciate that steelman.
So I've steelmaned it. Now I'm just going to take it apart because again, it's not a partisan issue. Because even if that were the case, then Trump is still the one who took that and chose to take that of his own volition, and if people who support him chose to support him and make that deal with him to be.
I am aware of the FCC. Well, I'm not an expert, but I'm aware of the fairness doctrine. Yes, and wasn't it Reagan who got rid of it or something, or watered it down?
The leader of the Republican Party, he's the one that did that of his own volition. He's the one who, and also Fox, if we're talking about the media, Fox News, I don't know what the Democrat equivalent of this is, but Fox News.
Oh yeah, everyone go and follow Zanzi as well. I don't know if they still do much in terms of content, but you should go and follow them in case they ever do again, or if they still do, and I haven't noticed, because I'm bad at noticing things.
Knowingly lied about the Dominion case, and so they did because they didn't want to lose their viewers to Newsmax.
That's why it's a
one-sided issue, and that's why. And that's why I'll say one more thing. Come on, chill. One more thing. I'm just saying, inflammatory rhetoric isn't a bad thing if what you're saying is true. When people say one side is a threat to democracy or the Democratic Federal Republic, it's because it's true. Because he didn't accept the result of the election.
The issue is not everything they've been saying.
And he tried to overthrow the system.
Not everything they've been saying is true, though. Is the problem. And that is the problem.
Generally,
we're pretending like you're pretending like Trump's divisiveness.
Rashad is a great example of.
You're pretending like Trump's divisiveness is similar to anyone else. Can you bring up another president who falsely accused this seated president of trying to murder?
All you're doing is doing history content. That's dope. Everyone go and check out Zanzi's history shit. Love it.
For him.
Actually, we're gonna throw that question to MPU because he wanted to respond.
Can you name a former president who accused the seated president of trying to assassinate him in an FBI raid?
He didn't say. Wait, look. He did not say that President
He said
he did.
What do you think Trump was trying to communicate when he said that? I didn't want to hold hands with him.
I don't know if I'm supposed to answer.
No, it's for MPU.
CIA have anything to do with the John Kennedy?
No, Jet Tank can answer.
Well, no, we're trying to move on this time. I'm trying.
Hang on, what the?
Okay, well, look, if I may,
is QAnon Santa? So QAnon Santa is saying that the CIA did the JFK assassination. So are they suggesting that Lee Harvey Oswald was that, or is he one of those people that doesn't even think that bit of it's true? Jesus fucking Christ! the levels of conspiracism that the Trump freaks will engage in, and I'm not even just talking about them carrying around pots of fake sperm with them, which, by the way, if you need to know the context of that, new people in, hello there everyone, in order to mock people who are infertile and can't conceive children, Trump fans are taking to carrying around plastic pots filled with fake JD Vance jizz. That's a thing they're now doing in a weird move that's also evil as fuck. So I started the show off with that one because it just blew my mind. The context for it, if you will, yes. So not only are they doing all of that shit, right? But the level of conspiracism that they'll engage in is just on a different fucking plane of existence. Like I've heard 9/11 truthers involved in the Trump movement. Like legit fucking. I couldn't even remember 9/11 truthers being a thing anymore. You'd have thought they'd have gone by the wayside at this point, but apparently not. Apparently they're still a fucking thing, as grotesque a concept as that is. And like, Trump was in New York on 9/11. He literally boasted about how now having the tallest building in Manhattan. Because, you know, he's a real patriot and all of that. Crazy.
Wait, stop. Everybody stop.
Little interjection?
No interjection. Shush. Okay.
Which, as always, by the way, wasn't true. He still didn't have the tallest building, but that's not the point.
Throwing the question over to MPU because we're trying to give everybody some speaking time. MPU, would you like to respond and go deep? Because I just wanted to give you an opportunity.
Go deep.
To talk.
Look, the idea that somehow this is one party versus another, I think the news media, by and large, since the 60s, right, since the Vietnam War effort and all of the radicalization that happened on college campuses, these were people that then became educators, and then they became parents of children who became educators.
Jesus fucking Christ, you are honestly one of the most baby-brained freaks. You're a mutant. Go away.
And there is a certain stripe of progressivism or communism or socialism that
which are all the same thing.
In the education system.
All of those things, progressivism, socialism, communism, are all exactly the same thing. They're all literally the exact same thing. No nuance necessary. It's fine. It's fine. This is like such weird, lazy boomer bullshit.
And to be honest, I think most people in this country, because they're having to work so hard in order to pay their bills and keep their family alive or afloat, that they somehow have forgotten what the impact of education has been on where people's political ideologies are formed.
I want to reply to MPU, and I'm going to be silent for the rest of the. I'm going to be silent for the rest of the panel. I just want to reply to MPU very quickly.
It all comes through the education system and the failure of American citizens, parents particularly, to maintain that control over what their kids are being taught and to hold their school systems accountable for how their children are being taught.
Okay,
and
Sunday.
now we got
I just want my last word today.
Where we are.
Okay. Here's the deal. We've all been reducing this down to like this party, that party.
Ladies and gentlemen,
yeah, there's probably a truth about that. That's gonna...
Victory is ours.
Thank you, Wild Mambo Queen. Lovely name, by the way. Thank you. And thank you, Elliot, with 1 bit. Thank you.
Beside the point. I know, but now I'm addressing you directly. MPU, at the end of this panel, you're going to be alone in a parking lot. It's going to be silent. And what I want you to think about is how your obsession with this, you as an individual, we know what the people in the parties are divided on. We know what their interests are. You as an individual, you put this shit above dealing with your personal life and making sure that you were in a good place with your family, with God, etc., etc. I want you to think about that when this call ends and you are in silence and there is no hope.
Look,
bring it back.
That's... yeah... not sure about that. Not... yeah. That's not nice. That's not pleasant, I have to say. Yeah, I think Loner Box's reaction is yeah. That's a pretty gross thing to say, isn't it, really? Honestly, that's a bit of a sucker punch for me. I don't know what to say to that. That's just fucking gross. Why would you say some shit like that? Oh no. Oh. You know what? And MPU's about to go off on him by the looks of it. He looks like he's about to go fucking nuclear. And I don't think you can complain. I don't know what he's going to say. It's probably going to be atrocious, but like, god damn.
Bring it back. I'm not going to let you get away with it.
Okay, can I pose a question? Can I pose an actual question?
Man.
Okay.
Can I pose an actual?
Don't say that bullshit.
Can
I pose an actual question?
That is society writ large, fucker.
Okay. This feels this was
Still
way,
true.
This feels
Yeah,
like
I
it's
got
way
a
off
question.
guard. I don't know.
I just have a
You got a
question.
long-
Wait, stop. We gotta quiet down now. Look, for me, that's like way past the bar. For my personal opinion. Wait, let me finish.
That's disgusting.
Let me finish. Wait, let me
We're
finish
just
talking
apologizing
quick.
to Brian Kai for accusing him of sexual assault before Dylan.
What
That's
the
a
fuck are
specialist.
you
I
doing?
remember.
What did he fucking say? What? Hang on, we're gonna have to go back on that. I think we're definitely gonna have to try and do a retake on that sentence. What the? Hang on. What did he say?
Disgusting.
Let me finish. Wait, let me
We're
finish
just
talking
apologizing
quick.
to Brian Kai for accusing him of sexual assault before Dylan.
Apologise to Prime Kai for accusing you of sexual assault. He brought up the Prime Kai Katarana stuff. What? Yeah, that's really fucking mental. Why is he doing this? That was like 2 years ago or some shit. What the fuck is going on? Why is he bringing this up? Why is this relevant to anything? Oh my god, I hadn't thought about that fucking drama for literally since it happened, basically, because I don't really know the people that well. That's fucking crazy. That's fucking mental. So if I recall correctly, was it Dylan that accused Prime Kai in a roundabout way of sexually assaulting Katarana? That was the way round it went, wasn't it? God damn, what are you doing, mate? Why are you bringing this up now? Look, if this was such an issue for you, why did you accept the fucking invitation to go on the show in the first place? That's fucking gross, man. Don't do that. What did Sunday to begin with? I missed it. I don't think he really did anything. I think he was just because he was going off and started talking shit, which is like MPU's thing. But even if he's talking shit, there's no need to be like, after this show, you're going to be in a parking lot. You're going to be homeless scum. I want you to ruminate upon this more in the future. As you slowly waste away, you piece of human detritus. I'm being a little bit over the top there, but you get the idea. Like, it was unnecessary. He didn't need to be going to that place with it.
That's the specialist. I remember that.
Sunday. You know what? Wait.
You're defending killing
Okay,
kids.
we're gonna quiet down. Wait. We're gonna quiet.
Defending killing kids. He's just swinging wild now, right? He's got to be like trolling at this point, because he's now like, he's now going about. I like you. You defend killing kids. It's fine. He wants to get kicked. Well, clearly, yeah, he must do, because he's going the right way about it. And what about that time, Dylan, 7 years ago, when you stepped on a butterfly and you didn't even care? You're a monster.
Down for a second. Everybody quiet down for a second. Sunday. The reason that's past the bar for me, because my mother was homeless and I saw like drug addiction and personal shit like destroy her. I don't know why you're like, oh, bring out last drama, let's bully like the homeless person. This is so fun. Oh, I'm
Bullying
such
the
a great
homeless person.
I'm just a great
Bullying
I
the
don't
homeless
like this.
person.
I don't just look. All I'm gonna say is like you're.
I'm sorry.
Like,
This guy isn't.
Look,
excuse
this
me.
is my one warning. Wait, let's stop.
This is fucking wild. Why did he wait all this time? He hasn't said anything. President Sunday, right? He said virtually nothing for the hour they've been going or whatever, and And now he decides to just pipe up and be like, shut the fuck up, homeless bitch. What the fucking hell? What the fuck is wrong with you? His major contribution to the discussion was whinging that people aren't directly addressing the topic, and then taking a swing at a homeless guy. What the fuck? Oh, just that's mental. That's so wild.
I'm not done talking. Everybody, I'm sorry. I even have to meet you. I'm sorry. This is my one warning. We're getting off of this.
I'll save you the trouble. It's all good, Dylan.
Okay.
Oh, you left. Why did he want to get kicked?
That's an actual question,
Okay,
please.
we're gonna go back.
Why did he try and get kicked and then leave before he was even kicked? Sunday must have addressed this by now, mustn't he? Has he put anything out saying what was going on with this shit? He knew this was coming because he was getting pissed off with it. That's fucking mad. That's mad. There's no need to be that gross with it, man. Like, you can get kicked by being, like, kind of a dumbass or whatever, right? You can just say some dumb shit. Why did he attack the homeless guy? Like, don't get me wrong, the homeless guy, in this particular instance, MPU, is a piece of shit. A delusional conspiracy piece of garbage. I don't like him. But he doesn't deserve to be homeless, and it's not a decision that he's made. It's circumstance. It's like with we were talking about the JD Vance spunk pots. Like, you're doing that to A, be weird, because you're fucking weird, but B, to attack people who can't conceive. Why? That's a medical issue. Leave them the fuck alone. Because of the concern trolling, that's what President Sunday said. I don't think it's concern trolling. I think Dylan was literally saying what everyone else was saying, that that's like a gross thing to say. Because it is. Does anyone disagree? Can I just ask? Anyone in either chat, does anyone disagree that what he said about the homeless guy being homeless and like, you should think about this when you're alone in the parking lot, you piece of homeless shit? Do you think that was out of order? Does anyone think that was like okay to say? Because it definitely wasn't, was it? It was fucked up. I don't care what he said to the homeless guy, to be honest. Oh no, don't get me wrong. I'm not asking you to care particularly. Okay, I'm not asking you to feel anything towards MPU, because MPU's a piece of garbage, right? I don't give a fuck about the guy. I'm not gonna fucking cry tears for him. But like, you understand. Look, you do understand that it's like what he said was wrong, right? Like, I assume you have that understanding. Even if you don't personally feel particularly aggrieved by it or whatever, that's fine. Sunday's argument that he's not going to be moralised by Dylan because of the Prime Kaya anti-Gaza stuff. Doesn't matter how long ago it was, it still happened. Yeah, I mean, I guess. But Zanzi, this is the point I was making, is that if you have such a problem with Dylan, if you think Dylan is such a... Not you specifically, but in this case, President Sunday. If a person thinks that Dylan is an irretrievable piece of garbage because of whatever, because of Gaza or because of whatever, it really genuinely doesn't matter. Why would you even go on the show then? Because you know he makes money off this, right? Look, this is a show he does, and people watch, and he gets AdSense money for that, and he gets bits and subscriptions and stuff. Like, he makes a lot of money out of this. I say a lot of money. He's not a millionaire or anything. But look, he makes good money out of this. He makes a living out of this. And you're contributing to that. A person that you think is morally degenerate, for want of a better phrase. Like, you probably oughtn't to go on to the show in the first place, right? I don't know. I mentioned why earlier. Sunday had next to no interest in being on this, considering it's an absolute waste of time. We got bored of watching everyone dance around the panel question to go talking head mode. Well, according to Zanzi, that may be what has been said by President Sunday, but Danabo, literally the person right below you in the chat there, who is the organizer of this show. So not like some random fucking person, like literally the person who books the guests and shit, is telling me that literally you can read it there, Sunday asked to go on the show. So, like, clearly he's not like above it if he's literally asking to go on. Like, I don't think you can act all high and mighty when you're the one requesting to go on. Like, in a way, I felt I could be a bit more flippant with my commentary in the kind of preamble bit that I was on, because I was like a last minute guest. I literally didn't even know what the fucking topic for the main discussion was going to be. So I just went on and did stupid jokes and called Lauren Southern a dickhead, you know?
Back to okay, like 1 second. MPU.
Fucking President Sunday to charge out.
I mean, that is
We
true.
love the homeless.
I mean, anyway, we're gonna get back on topic. That was crazy.
We love the homeless. Okay. Cool.
Who wants to grab this and bring us back to actual, like...
Can I bring it back, please? I have a question.
Rashad's been on.
I have an actual question. Okay, I want to ask the conservatives here. When Donald Trump told Congresswomen of color to go back to their crime-infested countries, what was he trying to communicate there?
He didn't say that. He said go back to where you
He
came
definitely
from.
did say that.
He
Because
didn't say
they're
go back to your
dividers.
country.
They're in
He
here
said
pushing
go
that.
back to where you came from.
No, he said go back to your crime-infested countries.
They should.
Go back to your crime-infested countries.
Where he said go back
I'm
to
just said
more
they-
Okay, you know what? I don't care anymore. I don't care anymore. Do you love our cops, our law enforcement? We love our military, they're important. Okay? Fact. I also don't care anymore about this show. Because I literally only wanted to watch it with you because someone said that he stormed out. And now that we've seen that, like, as always, I don't think we're going to get any more... What was it? They're now just going to expend heat rather than light. They're just going to create annoyance amongst one another. Rather than shed light on the issue. Not going to lie, I trust Danabo as far as I can throw him, and I can't throw. Well, Gray, okay. I can't prove that what Danabo was saying is true, but if Danabo wants to reveal the correspondence which would prove that point, because clearly President Sunday is contradicting them on this, right? So if Danabo wants to reveal, to leak DMs or whatever the fuck the phrase would be, to prove the point, I think that would be of interest. I'm not saying they have to do anything like that, it's entirely up to them. I can understand for professional reasons why they wouldn't necessarily want to engage in that, and that would be fine. But only Danabo could possibly prove that point. Same, he's part of Chud Logic's ilk. What do you mean by that? Do you mean British? To be fair, he is that. And therefore, scum. So... It was in public, but he got banned from Twitter. Oh, so he got banned from Twitter recently, did he? Oh, okay. I'm sure somebody can find it. Okay, well that's interesting then. If he said that in public, that's mental. If he said it if he publicly like was fishing for an invite, and then said, "Oh, I'm above all of this" or whatever, that would be fucked up. You can't be doing that. MPU looks like he's about to put that Hawk tour on him. Yeah. Spit on that thing. Did you see, by the way, she went on with Bill Maher? It's fucking mental. Bill Maher's such a boomer twat, honestly. Fucking dickhead. Is Sunday contradicting that, or just failed to mention it outside the original Twitter convo? I would argue he basically was going against that. But even if you want to take the more, what's the word I'm looking for? Generous, I suppose. Steelman approach to it and say, okay, he didn't directly contradict it. He's still lying by omission. If what Danabo is saying is true. Can we watch your bit of the debate, Kev? Well, I wasn't involved in the debate. I was on with Dylan and Connor before the main thing, just doing a kind of bit of like pre-game analysis, if you will. And I just mainly did jokes and stuff, so it wasn't like there's no point me watching it. What am I going to analyse? Like there's nothing to analyse as such. But it's on Dylan's channel, so if you go onto Dylan's channel, and you can access the video we were just watching, right? And you can watch it if you wanted to. We demand it. Well, as always, chat, this is not a democracy. This is an absolute one-man kevocracy. Okay? I rule with an iron fist. Made of iron, because it's an iron fist, obviously. What else would it be made of, you dickhead? Analyse my joke. No, I will not be doing any such fucking thing. Not a chance. What I am going to do is go to bed, because it is... Actually, no, I won't go to bed, but I'll leave this. A shorter stream than we usually do. I know, I'm aware of that. Also, Hadouken lolcats. This is the second time I'm having to ask you this now. Hit the fucking follow button. You have not hit the follow button. And I would like you to. Okay? You're holding the entire class behind. This is your time you're wasting, not mine. Hippy Dippy Demolition Derby would be fun. In an intellectual sense, is the Hippy Dippy not itself a demolition derby? Where people drive their brains at one another and smash them into a million pieces? And they set on fire? I think that's basically what it is, right? Thanks for the stream. No, thank you. Thank you for the stream. Well, not for the stream, for watching. For what it's worth. Okay, I'm gonna piss off. Everyone go and follow. Who did we have raiding in? Hannah raided in, but someone else did as well. Who else raided in? I think we had 2 raids, didn't we? James from the that was yesterday. Oh no, we only had 1 raid. Okay, so apologies. Yes, everyone go and follow Hannah Reloaded. So, not until Brighton win the league. Well, that's never going to happen, then, is it? That's never going to happen. Ever. But you know. Oh no, Justice is going this show. Oh, indeed she is. There you go. Okay, yeah, I'll go over to No Justice, who is dope as fuck. Okay, well I'll raid the people in on the YouTubes. Where are we? Customization, redirect, nudge, save. Okay, and I'll do that on Twitch as well. Okay, everyone go and say hello to Helena, who is dope as fuck. I don't know what they're watching at the moment, but whatever it is. Oh, more Reginald D. Hunter drama. So get ready for accusations of anti-Semitism or something. But they said Brighton, not Birmingham, Kev. Ha 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 ha. Neither Birmingham City or Brighton Athletic, Brighton and Hove Athletic, are going to win the Premier League ever. It's never going to happen. I'll just clarify that. Neither of us will. Anyway. Oh, hang on. I'll cancel raid. We have news. Not news. What's the word I'm looking for? Clarification. Danaboa's got the thingy-majig just in time. Okay, well, hang on. It doesn't actually tell me who that's from, Danabo. It doesn't actually say who it's responding to. Unless I'm mistaken. I can't see anything there. Like, don't get me wrong, I trust that you're telling the truth here, but like, I can't know for sure. Because it literally doesn't say who it's from. It just says this post is from a suspended account. So I have no fucking idea. But whatever. Like, it's fine. Like, don't get me wrong. It's not my fault he was suspended. No, I know, Danabo. I know. I'm not attacking you. I trust that you're telling the truth. I'm just saying, it doesn't prove anything. So me showing the audience that, but the link you just sent me wouldn't make any difference to anyone, because it doesn't show anything really. That could be responding to anybody, couldn't it? I trust that you're responding to the person in question, but you might not be, because people don't trust you. I trust you, but clearly people in my chat don't. For whatever reason. Apparently you're like Chud Logic. And to be fair, British people shouldn't be trusted. But if I'm a British person saying that, does that mean I shouldn't be trusted and therefore all British people should be trusted? Oh, double negatives. And the YouTube people missed all of that because we were already fucking gone. But anyway, I'm going over to No Justice MTG. Everyone be nice to Danabo, otherwise I'll fucking knock you out. I won't do that, obviously. I'm not a violent man. Anyway, I'll be back probably tomorrow. Probably with something. Stay beautiful, yeah? No pass around.
Regardless,